So good morning students. In the last class we were discussing about moment of inertia. Okay, I told you that moment of inertia basically is a rotational. When you talk in rotational sense, what is the inertia offered by the body? Now when I take this duster can rotate like this. The duster can rotate like this also. The duster can rotate like this in some other axis. So when you talk about different ways of rotation, you talk in terms of axis of rotation. I told you. Okay. So one axis of rotation is this CG, center of gravity axis, centroidal axis. So when we talk about rotation, we talk about distribution of mass. This I explained yesterday. Distribution of mass, how it is. Okay, and we talk about rotation axis we are considering. Rotation axis we are considering. So suppose this is my cylinder. So this is one kind of an axis which is passing through the center of this cylinder. You can have another axis like this. It can rotate about, like I have shown you the duster. This is also an axis of rotation. This is also an axis of rotation. This axis is called CG axis of rotation. Okay. So morning I have given you the list of different types of objects. You should remember. I will just list it down also. So you should remember the moment of inertia of those geometric shapes. Now we also discussed about radius of gyration. Radius of gyration yesterday, denoted by K. Now be very careful. See, when you talk about, there are two types of masses we have discussed. One is a point mass, very small mass. Okay, point mass, particle. But when you take a irregular object, it is a continuous mass. It's a distributed and continuous mass. Point mass is a discrete mass. Discrete मतलब separate. और ये continuous mass distribution है, क्योंकि इसमें पूरा छोटा masses के साथ बना हुआ है. So when you write I is equal to mk square, this is the formula for any rigid body. I told you. I is equal to mr square क्या था? It is a basic formula to calculate the moment of inertia of any particle. We took this example. I have taken a point mass here. If you want to find the moment of inertia about this axis, how we will do? We will write mr square. But when I talk about a rigid body, I talk about a cylinder, I talk about a sphere, I talk about a planar body, I am going to talk about the radius of gyration. One very important point is this radius of gyration is not the distance from the center of mass to the reference line. It is not. Radius of gyration is not distance to center of mass. Don't get confused with that. Radius of gyration is not the distance to center of mass. Here that you take a bigger mass, it has got so many small masses. Isn't it? I told you can find the moment of inertia by individually finding out the inertia of all the masses and adding them together. So when I write in totality, this I will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus etc. So this I must be equal to some mr square. That mr square we write it in terms of mk square. It is just a mathematical way of writing. But k is not distance to center of mass. Okay, it's a very important point. You should remember this point. Okay, these are all basics. K is not the distance to center of mass. So this is one point. So different objects will have different moment of inertia. And what is moment of inertia we discussed? Large moment of inertia, small moment of inertia. What was the difference? Large truck and a small cycle tyre. Okay? This is difficult to move. More mi, less mi. Physical meaning. More mi means difficult to move, difficult to rotate, easy to rotate. These are the meanings, So Looking at the center, looking at the moment of inertia value, we can say that how is the rotational inertia. So this is difficult to rotate, this is easy to rotate. Depends upon the moment of inertia values. Okay, now let us proceed. One example we'll see in that point masses. We'll see one example. Suppose you are given like this one, 4 point masses, okay, and this is your x, this is your y, and this is your 1 meter, this is your 1 meter. Okay, so find Ix and Iy. Find Ix and Iy just for practice purpose. How you will find? Here 4 masses are there. I will put another mass in the center like this, just for practice purpose. Okay, this is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, so this is 0.5 meter. So there are how many masses here? There are 5. Let us calculate the Ix. I am directly putting I1 plus I2. I will call this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are 5 particles. Individually we have to calculate and individually we have to add. So what is of 1? Mass is 1 or 1 kg masses. 1 into, see, we are finding Iy. So which distance you have to see? So this is about this vertical axis. So you have to find all the x distances now. I have written on the board yesterday. That is a very important one. So it is right in the origin. So it is 0 square. So second one is 1 into 1 square. Third one is 1 into 1 square. Don't put this distance. कुछ लोग ये लगा देते हैं मेरे स्टूडेंट्स. नहीं, आपको ये लगाना है. Axis किधर है? Axis से perpendicular distance. This is not perpendicular distance. If the particle is here, this is your axis, this is your perpendicular distance. This is not your perpendicular distance. That is why I am doing this. Okay? So that there is no confusion. If it sounds repetitive, no problem. Everyone should understand. Physics should be approachable to everyone, not just bright students. Okay? 1 into 1 square. ये हो गया, ये भी 1 into 1 square हो जाएगा. ये क्या हो जाएगा? फोर्थ वाला 1 into 0 square and fifth वाला ये वाला 1 into 0.5 square. So this is your Ix value. So add this. So this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0. 0.5 square is 0.25. So it is 2 plus 0.25, 2.25 kg meter square. Always make a habit to write the units. Alright. Suppose you calculate the Iy. Calculate सकते हैं. Iy मतलब, सॉरी हमने क्या निकाला था भाई? हमने Ix निकाला था. गड़बड़ कर दिया. देखो Ix निकाला था. हमने ये निकाला था. हमें क्या लेना पड़ेगा? Y डिस्टेंस लेना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? This was Ix. Actually we have Y distance calculated Iy actually. उसको पट्टी मारेंगे तो हो जाएगी. हमने Iy नहीं, हमने Ix नहीं, Iy निकाला था. गड़बड़ कर दिया हमने. ठीक है ना? See, even people like us can make mistakes. So you have to be very careful. Iy निकाला था, इसलिए हमने सारे x distances को डाले. अभी हम लोग क्या निकालेंगे? Ix निकालेंगे. अभी हम निकालेंगे Ix. So Ix will be equal to, इसका देखो x एक्सिस ये है और इसका y डिस्टेंस लेना है. तो ये दोनों x एक्सिस पे ही हैं, तो it will be 0. So 1 into 0. This is also 1 into 0 square. This will be, what is this y distance? 1 into 1 square. This is also 1 into 1 square. Now coming to this, you have to take this distance, y distance. It is 1 into 0.5 square. You are getting the same value. Okay? So this is how you are supposed to calculate if you are given with the point masses. Okay na? One more example I did, a simple example, so that you understand the steps that are involved. Any type of different geometry is given, you should adopt the same procedure. If it is given in the form of a triangle, if it is given in the form of a diamond or whatever. They just test you this concept only. So write down. Okay. So okay. So one point I want to talk. So here I'm just kind of listing down the important formula which you are supposed to remember. The items, circular ring. Let's say Anguti, circular ring is like this. It has got a very less thickness. The radius is R. Inside pura hollow. Circular ring is mr square. So suppose someone says that what is the k value here? We will write the k value here. So you should do like this. Mr square is equal to the general formula for any object is mk square. That means k should be equal to what? R here. So here the k value will be R. This is the general formula for any shape. तो यहाँ पर k का वैल्यू क्या हो गया? R हो गया. Right? Now thin circular plate like your floppy disk, not floppy disk, your CD, okay, compact disk. It is having some area. It is not hollow, but its thickness is very less. Your CD player, CD. So इसका कितना है? mr square है. इसका mr square नहीं है भाई. mr square by 2 आता है इसमें. मैंने गलत लिखा है. या तो देखोगे तुम कि सर्कुलर रिंग का मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इससे ज्यादा है. मानो दोनों का रेडियस सेम है. यू कैन सी दैट सर्कुलर रिंग मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इज मोर देन दिस. सो यहां पर k का वैल्यू क्या होगा? सो यू शुड राइट लाइक दिस. mr square is equal to mk square. mr square by 2. So k square is equal to r square by 2 or k is equal to r divided by root 2. So here the k value will be equal to r divided by root 2. You can remember these expressions, that is enough. No need to remember the k values. It can always be derived. Okay. Then comes thin hollow sphere. You have a volleyball kind of a thing which is hollow inside. Okay, like your globe, it is the spherical shape, but inside only air is there. So इसका formula है 2 mr square by 3. Now here when we are talking about moment of inertia, we have to talk about the axis also. All this formula, the axis is the CG axis. The CG axis I am talking about. Okay. So अगर मैं सर्कुलर रिंग की बात करता हूं तो इसके सेंटर में एक एक्सिस को इमेजिन करो which is perpendicular to the board. So this is rotating about that. So you have to imagine, let us say one axis is like this. I cannot show on the board, so I am drawing like this. So this is rotating like this. Okay, it is rotating like this. जैसे हम लोग फुलझड़ी को घुमाते हैं ना वैसा. So this is r by root 2. So thin hollow sphere, what is the formula? About its centroidal axis, it is 2 mr square by 3. So again you can use the same thing. It is 2 mr square by 3 is equal to mk square. I don't want to do all those calculations. Let us see this one. So your k square is equal to 2 by 3 r square. So what is k value? Root over 2 by 3 r in this case. Similarly you can find for other cases also. But these formulas are important. Thin hollow sphere, it is 2 mr square by 3. For solid sphere, it is divided by 5. So solid sphere, you can see the moment of inertia is less than the hollow sphere. It is easy to roll a hollow sphere, but it is more difficult to roll a solid sphere of same radius. Okay, 2 mr square by 5. Then you have this thin uniform rod. You take a metallic rod whose length is L. So about the center, suppose there is a thin metallic rod is there. Its mass is m, its length is L. So you have an axis from the center. So about center, इसको ऐसे घुमा रहे हैं. So what will be the moment of inertia? ml square by 12. Okay. If it's a rectangular plate, it is a and b. You get m by 12 into a square plus b square. Square plate, put a is equal to b. You get ma square by 6. You can remember this one. From that you can get the square value. m by 12 into इनमें देखो इनमें 12 आता है, इसमें 12 आता है. यहाँ पे L square है, यहाँ पे A square plus B square. If it's a hollow cylinder, it is mr square. So hollow cylinder is equal to the circular ring. Okay, hollow cylinder is equal to the circular ring. If it's a solid cylinder, it is mr square by 2. So this is equal to thin circular plate. So which is difficult to roll? Hollow cylinder and circular cylinder, solid cylinder. So hollow cylinder has got more moment of inertia. It is more difficult to roll. जिसका भी moment of inertia ज़्यादा है, we are talking comparable. Mass is comparable, radius is comparable. Only that type of thing we are talking about. So the hollow cylinder has a moment of inertia equal to mr square. So all these derivations are not important, but just to explain how you can calculate means, I will take one approach and tell you. You see, remember this, for uniform rod it is ml square by 12. Okay, so take a snapshot. See, whenever we talk about continuous mass distribution, if you want to find out the moment of inertia, we take integration approach. Similar to what we have done in our center of mass also. There I have discussed about continuous mass distribution. So continuous mass distribution, we have adopted their integration approach. So the general formula to calculate moment of inertia is integration r square dm. m r square होता है, so dm into r square integrated. So basically what you are saying is, you take a rigid body, break it into small pieces, take about this axis, this is my dm into r square, dm into r square, dm into r square. Add all this. Integration is what? Adding, no? Integration is adding up, summing it up. So it is a calculus based approach. So this is the general equation to calculate for continuous mass distribution type of questions. So we will take one example. Let us say our metallic rod. Okay, I am taking about the CG axis. So this mass is capital M and this length is capital L. And we are trying to find out what is the moment of inertia about its CG axis. So for doing that, what am I supposed to do? I need to take a small element. I will take a small element. If the whole mass is capital M, this small mass will be dm. Let us say it is from x distance from the centroidal axis. What is this r? It is distance from the axis from where you are taking. What is the axis here? This is my CG axis, right? So how can I write my integration? How can I write this as di? This small piece will give me small moment of inertia. Similarly, if I take small elements, I will individually calculate the moment of inertia. I1 plus I2 plus I3, etc. I will get the total I for the metallic rod. So di is equal to, can I write it as x square dm? Can I write it like this? Okay, how did I do? This is small. Similarly, if I take element here, that will be another value. So like this, I have broken down this big rod into small elements, and each moment of inertia I am calculating, and I am integrating it. Okay, if I integrate this small moment of inertia values, छोटा को जोड़ दिया तो क्या मिलेगा? टोटल मिलेगा. I is equal to, it will be x square dm. If you remember, while we were discussing about center of mass, we were talking about linear mass. We were talking about linear mass density, aerial mass density. Remember all the lambda value and all that. So देखो यहाँ पर, अगर इसका मैं आधा टुकड़ा करूँगा, मेरा मास कितना हो जाएगा? m/2 हो जाएगा. So can I write it like this? m/l is equal to dm/dx. m/l is constant. अगर मैं आधा लेंथ लूंगा, मेरा मास आधा हो जाएगा. अगर मैं 1 1/4 लेंथ लूंगा तो मेरा मास 1/4 हो जाएगा, अगर मैं dx लूंगा तो वो dm हो जाएगा. So this is the relationship where you can apply. If you see that text what I have given you, a uniform thin, uniform, ये पूरा uniform होगा तभी ये apply कर सकते हैं. If it is non-uniform, you cannot apply this condition. अगर मैं बोलता हूँ ये मेटालिक रॉड है, इसको मैंने छोटा टुकड़ा नहीं कर दिया, तो उसको किसी और टुकड़े से मैंने कंपेयर किया, they are identical in property, then only you can apply this. So from here, what do you want? You want dm, no? So dm will be equal to m by l into dx. Just put it there. X square in the place of dm, I need to put m by l dx. Now I need to put the range. So from यहां से यहां तक और यहां से यहां तक दोनों सिमेट्री है, तो क्या मैं इसको 0 to l by 2 लिखकर 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर सकता हूं? I will use the property of symmetry. Basically, I have to put from minus l by 2 to plus l by 2. So minus l by 2 to plus l by 2 basically is 2 times 0 to l by 2. So let us solve this now. So m by l is constant, so you bring it out. 2m by l. What is integration of x square dx? It is x power 3 by 3, 0 to l by 2. So you have to put the upper boundary and the lower boundary. Okay. In physics, please get used to this integration derivation. It is, I have done some basic videos on that. Every class I cannot repeat the same thing. So you have to get a hang of basic level integration and basic level differentiation. So it is 2m by l into, put l by 2 here. If you put 0 in the second case, it will end with 0 now. So l by 2 whole cube. This is l power 3. 2 cube is 8. 8 into 3 is 24. Minus, put x is equal to 0, it becomes 0. So what did you get? You got 2m by l into l power 3 by 24, which is nothing but ml square by 12. This was the formula I have given you for a simple uniform rod. Okay. So this is how you can calculate using the integration approach for the mass moment of inertia of a thin rod. Similarly, for other items also we can do. The derivations are not important at your level. Any problem comes, we can discuss using the integration approach. So understand the approach how I have done. Okay, and what is the concept involved here? It is the linear mass density. This is constant, this is constant, equal to, I told you it is equal to lambda. So this concept you have to use and you can solve, you can get the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis. Okay, please make a note of this. So further continuing our discussion. So we were discussing that if I take, let us say, a plane body, this plane body will have a x and a y. Okay. Now suppose I want to rotate this about an axis which is perpendicular to x and y. So perpendicular to x and y means somewhere like this. Okay. This is my x, this is my y, so this is my z. So how to make you understand means, see here, this duster is there, it has got an x, it has got a y. Okay. So duster can rotate like this. In the xy plane it can rotate. Right? Now suppose, imagine an axis which is perpendicular to both x and y, and I want to rotate about that axis. See, like this. If I explain to you here, we have seen this basic level questions where we have taken an object, some object is there. So this is my x, it can rotate like this, it can rotate about y axis. Okay, what about this z? Z is perpendicular to the board. So It has to rotate about that. It has to rotate about the z axis. How do I find out? So we will apply a theorem called perpendicular axis theorem. So why we are calculating all this means, I told you that axis of rotation can be anything. If you take a cylinder, just now I gave you formulas. About center axis, you know the formula how to calculate. Suppose in the question they ask you what is the moment of inertia about the edge, then how to calculate? So we have two formulas we have two theorems for that depending upon the situation. So one theorem is perpendicular axis theorem. Now basically what it says is, if you take some object, alright, it has got some, this is x axis, this is y axis. So about x axis the moment of inertia is ix, let us say, and about y axis the moment of inertia is y, and basically you want moment of inertia about z axis. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to add ix, you have to add ix to iy, then you get the value of ij. Okay, so this z is perpendicular to both x and x and y must be concurrent. Here it is concurrent. Concurrent means passing through the same point. X axis, y axis both are perpendicular and they are concurrent at this point. And this z is perpendicular to the board. Okay, z is perpendicular to the board towards you. Since we cannot show on a 2D board, we are writing like this. Okay, but it does not mean it is in the plane of the board. It is perpendicular to the board. It is three-dimensional. So ij can be found out by simply adding ix and iy. So you should know the value of this body about ix and about x-axis and about y-axis. See, one example I tell you. See, suppose you take the cylinder, you should be little careful. Now this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Alright. Now about y-axis, I have given you the formula. So about x-axis, you have to calculate sometimes. Then add, you get the value of ij. Okay. You have standard formula sometime. You have to take use of that. Okay. But when you are calculating about perpendicular axis theorem, you should know the value of. See, this cylinder has got some moment of inertia about x-axis. It is different from y-axis. If about y-axis it is mr square, I told you, I think so. For solid cylinder, what is the value I told you? Mr square, isn't it? Mr square by 2 I told you. For a solid cylinder, this is a solid cylinder. So about centroidal axis it is mr square by 2. That is about y-axis. But what about x-axis? It is not mr square, but it can be some other value. So those two values you have to add and you have to get the value of ij. So perpendicular axis theorem basically says that if you have two concurrent axes which are mutually perpendicular to each other, you can find the moment of inertia about the axis which is perpendicular to those two axes. Here z is perpendicular to x as well as y. Be careful. Z is perpendicular to x and y, and x and y are in turn perpendicular to each other. Okay? परपेंडिकुलर मतलब ये z x को भी परपेंडिकुलर होना है, z y को भी परपेंडिकुलर होना है, और x और y दोनों एक दूसरे को परपेंडिकुलर है. Then you apply perpendicular axis theorem. Now which type of body is this? This is called a planar body. A planar body. What do I mean by planar body? That means like a CD disc. It has got some length, width, but third dimension is negligible. The thickness is negligible. That type of body is called planar body. This theorem is applicable to this type of body only. Perpendicular axis theorem is applicable to planar body only. Okay? And the condition is you can find about z if you know the value of ix and iy. Sometimes you have to calculate and simply add them, you get the ij value. Okay, so this is about perpendicular axis theorem. So let us see one example if possible. And here देखो ix निकाल रहे हो तो इसके करस्पॉन्डिंग इसको कैसे लिखोगे, m kx स्क्वायर लिखोगे ना, तो इसका भी कुछ ky स्क्वायर होगा, तो इसका कुछ होगा ना kz स्क्वायर, ऐसे होगा ना. So here how to get kz? It is root over kx square plus ky square. This is the formula for radius of gyration. If you know the radius of gyration x direction, you know the radius of gyration y direction, you can calculate the radius of gyration along z using this formula. It is not simply adding kx and ky. You can add moment of inertia like this, but when you have to calculate k, you have to take the square root of kx square plus ky square. Any question comes on that concept, you have to remember this formula. Okay, so this is about the perpendicular axis theorem, and let us do a one simple illustration. It's an interesting illustration. Let us say there are two metallic rods are given like this. Both length is m, mass is m, length is l, and the question is इनको ऐसे रखा है crisscross करके. You have to find the moment of inertia about their angular bisectors B1 and B2. What is the question? The question is, two metallic rods are kept like this plus symbol, and the question says these two angular bisectors are similar. Okay, so this is 90 degrees, this will be 45, this will be 45. So he is asking you what is the moment of inertia about this axis, either B1 or B2. How to find that? So here you see, originally this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. So can I find Iz? I can find Iz as Ix plus Iy using perpendicular axis theorem. But what is the value of Ix? We are seeing the formula, it is ml square by 12. Iy is also ml square by 12 only. इसके लिए ये y है, देखो, if you are taking this particular rod, it is rotating about this. If you take this rod, it is rotating about this. So what is the value? ml square by 12 in both the cases. They are absolutely same. So what is the value of Iz? Iz is ml square by 12 into 2. It is ml square by 6. Now what is this Iz? ये x है, ये y है, इन दोनों का perpendicular. Like this duster. There is an axis like this. This is x, this is y, and this is your z. So this is Iz value. Okay? Iz value निकालिए. Now, in the question, both are angular bisectors. That means both are symmetrical, both must be equal. So you can say IB1 is equal to IB2 is equal to some IB. You can say that. So now you have the value of Iz. You see here, if z is perpendicular to x and y, it is also perpendicular to B1 and B2. It is also perpendicular to B1 and B2. What did we study? If x and y are perpendicular, you can get the value of Iz. Now here you know the value of Iz, you have to find B1 and B2. Can I write it like this? Iz is equal to IB1 plus IB2. Because z is perpendicular to B1 and B2, and B1 and B2 are perpendicular to each other. This is 45, so this is 45, this is also 45. 45 plus 45, they are 90, so this is reverse. Iz is ml square by 6, and this is 2 times IB. So what is IB value? It is ml square by 12. Interesting question. This is how you apply perpendicular axis theorem. Okay, please make a note of this question, and let's meet up in the next class. So now you understood how to apply the perpendicular axis theorem. With an example, I have explained you how to apply. Always remember, if you take two mutually perpendicular axes, you can get the third one. and the condition is x should be perpendicular to y and z should be individually perpendicular to x and y. Okay. With that, I will conclude. Let's meet up in the next class. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.